We had Clint Frazier on the show last week, a former Yankee. He talked about how he doesn't love certain parts of computer models telling teams when to sit players. And I think there's two equations here. There is the load management side, and there is the projections against a certain pitcher or lineup. It became relevant when Anthony Volpe, who was on a cold streak, had a big game on Saturday. He had a home run and at least another knock, maybe three knocks in that game, and had been, I think, 0 for 25 entering that one. He sits Sunday, scheduled day off. It was reported by multiple writers that that was the plan. They went through with the plan. Yesterday, 0 for 4, two strikeouts, loses the bat twice. Do you believe in that? Do you think that that's something that should be implemented, or do you think there should be more of a conversation with teams? I don't know if you've experienced that, but also just from an opinion basis, what do you think of that? Because for me, I'm like, finally, he got some knocks, got a homer. Let him play the next day.
Well, the Mets just sent down Francisco Alvarez the day after he hit a 450-foot homer. So these teams are not looking at necessarily the small sample of one game. Do I agree with that? I think you have to take it on a case-by-case basis. And the one thing that we've lost in the game, and I can rail on this all day long, we all could, is the loss of feel. And sometimes the modeling and the projections override the feel that a manager might have for how a player is doing at a particular time. And I found it interesting reading the quotes from Tony Mansolino, the Orioles manager, this morning on Jackson Holliday. Jackson Holliday is a left-handed hitter. He's a guy they sat against Skubal, as you would with a left-handed hitter against that kind of pitcher. But Mansolino said, you know what? This guy's going to be our leadoff guy every day, hopefully for the next 5 years and beyond, because they feel that Jackson Holliday has made adjustments against left-handers and is capable of handling them. One thing that is always interesting with this argument, and I've talked about this with Jock Peterson, a guy who, of course, sits against lefties, and others too. How are you expected to hit lefties if you don't get the chance to hit lefties? And this is a question that teams don't necessarily want to address. They just say, well, he doesn't hit lefties, so we're going to sit him, and that's that. Okay with veteran players sometimes with track records. With younger players, when you're not allowing them to grow, that I question. And it's always kind of a chicken and egg thing, and I'm not sure what the proper answer is. And again, each player is different, each circumstance and team is different. But it seems to me that we've lost, in some cases, the feel for feel that we once had in the game. And while it would be extreme to go back the other way and base it all on feel and not look at the models and the projections and all that, the balance is what the best teams have. And sometimes teams get out of whack with that, and it's a problem.
Yeah, and my thing is, I mean, with Alvarez, you're going to send him down, and that's kind of in the plans, and one home run's not going to change your mind, fine. But if you're
Right.
planning on Volpe being your guy up here and you want to instill a little bit of confidence, let the dude play after he finally got himself back on the board. We'll ask Trevor and AJ about this too coming
And I'm
up.
not sure, Scott, I have to look at this, but are they in a stretch where they're playing like 16 in a row? I think they might be.
They
And that
might be,
factors into
yeah,
it, of course. Yeah,
sure.
that's a factor.
I know we're getting very, very in the weeds and specific here, but we're a show that's on every day. And I think it does bring up a larger point. When Volpe is struggling, really on the year defensively, even, and he's been okay on offense, but was just breaking a slump. Do you think he wanted to sit on Sunday after all of that?
I just don't know how it works. I've had managers come to me and say, "Hey, we need you. You're going to give you this day off, and you have a good game." And you go in the office after the game and say, "Listen, man, I'm going to play tomorrow." And a lot of times the managers will listen to you. And as far as load management goes, Anthony Volpe's 23 years old. How old is Volpe? 23, 24 ish. Does he
I'll
really need
find
load
it, but yeah,
management?
in that
Do we
range.
really need? Do we
24.
really need load? Yeah. Do we really need load management on a 24-year-old guy? I know they're going through it right now, but if he gets 3 hits, he's feeling it running back out there. I don't know. Maybe they didn't want to mess up the schedule. Maybe they didn't want to mess up his routine. I don't know. But if I get 3 hits, I'm fighting to stay in there. And listen, Aaron Boone made his decision. But I don't know, man. I remember one game I played in New York. This is kind of off topic. I hit 2 home runs in the game at Yankee Stadium, and I didn't play the next day. And I remember Paul O'Neill on the air goes, "That dude hit 2 home runs yesterday. He ain't playing. What's going on?" But it had nothing to do with that. It had to do with the way the schedule lined up, and it was scheduled. And yeah, I went in there and said, "Ozzy, I want to play," but he said, "No, you'll play the day game the next day instead of the." It was so. There's weird things that can happen. I get it, but yeah, you want to play the next day when you feel good.
FT fam, did you know that Huel has sold over 500 million meals around the world, and now it is your turn to try it while I drink it.
Drink up, Scott, so I can discuss Huel and how I love it. I had some for breakfast this morning. I like to drink it post-workout because of the protein included in it. It always tastes delicious, whether it's strawberry, banana, chocolate, vanilla, whatever the flavor is. It tastes like a dessert, honestly. It should not taste as good as it does.
I agree. New customers get 15% off plus a free gift at Huel.com when you use the FT code. That is FOUL, F-O-U-L, at Huel.com/FOUL. Don't miss out. Try Huel today for a perfectly balanced meal. If you miss a meal, if you're looking for a little protein boost, you just saw me drinking the black edition, ready to drink. There's the vanilla flavor. I love what the chocolate brings to the table. It's really damn good. So give it a shot, FT fam. 15% off plus a free gift for new customers with the code FOUL. 78 games this year for the Yanks. This is 77 played for Volpe, so his first game sat. I'm just like, now? Of all the times, couldn't we have pushed that back?
It is interesting because he's, I think, like the three positions out in the field that usually don't get a lot of time off are center field, shortstop, and first base. Like those guys try to play every single day, and they're kind of the offensive center of the offense usually. And so planning, like building the things in, especially if it's like analytically based, seems silly, especially with a guy that young. But I do agree with AJ. Like most of the time, you can go be like, "Come on, man, I'm good. Let me play. Let's go. I really want to play." Then you're gonna play. But if they can't see another opportunity to get to that rest, then they will make that case to you. And if they make a good case, which it sounds like Ozzy made a good case to you, like, "Hey, this is actually the thinking about it." Okay, that makes sense. Like that, this is good long term. Let's do it. I think there are points in time maybe where it gets reported, and there are sometimes like, according to our numbers, this is when guys get tired. Like that's not, I think, a good way to act on or really make concrete decisions on. You got to be really, really flexible in that way. But then when it comes down to it, if you plead your case and they still want you to take the day off, then you're probably going to just take the day off. But for a guy like that, who they're expecting a lot from him, they need him to get going a little bit, seeing a little sign of life, and then seeing him take a break. It's probably not easy to swallow for Yankees fans, and I get that.
Yeah, Yankees fans obviously were freaking out about it. They're not loving the season that Volpe has, and so the timing of it is just strange. Hey, if you're checking this out later on, drop a comment. Let us know your thoughts. Big deal or not a big deal to you?
Hey, everybody. Be sure to like and subscribe for more content.
We're back here every weekday, all year long, so do not miss an episode.
The videos are coming in all day. Here's another video you might enjoy.
Baseball the way it should be covered.